How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with a little bit of mystery beer, courtesy of my boy Carson. Yeah, he dropped off. I always say dropped off instead of mailed off. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, there's many things wrong with me, and that's just one of them. He mailed off 4 beers, 1 mystery beer, 2 homebrew, and a Southern Swells IPA. So I'm kind of pumped to dive into all of them. This looks like a porter. Like a Schwarz beer. It doesn't look like a stout unless it's a low ABV stout. Yeah, really high end. Bounty paper towels, masking tape. We're on the right track so far with at least the wrapping. But yeah, she doesn't. She has probably looked like a stout kind of vibe to her from a distance. But nah, man. That's got to be porter. It's got to be Schwarz beer. Something along those lines. Rich mahogany tones underneath a not overly dark kind of head. But there's not much, or dark body, but there's not much of a head to it either. A little bit of khaki colored head, but it really dissipated really quickly, so yeah. Barrel age, maybe? Good nose. Something's going on here. Walking back that low ABV thing. Walking back that stout thing. It's a stout. It is. It's decent in ABV. I don't know if it's double digits, but it's not. Let's put it this way. It's closer to 10 than it is 6. And there's something outside of a core 4 to it. There's nice roasted malts to it. There's a nice, soft, kind of gentle, kind of bittering hoppiness to it. Nothing too crazy. It's more about the malts here, but it really does show that kind of red cherry thing I dig so much in so many stouts. Yeah. I dig this. Here's the thing. He sent me a mystery beer that was Old Rasputin, and I lost it. And this is kind of the same vibe as Old Rasputin, much less bittering. And obviously it's not Old Rasputin because the bottle's shaped that way. But yeah, stout. Right now I'm going for 10% on the nose. Stout, and with something else going on. It's not vanilla bean. Might be a milk stout, but that's kind of how I'm deciding. But it could be a heavy oat edition. I don't know. Let's just dive in. Cheers. What's that? What's that? This has got to be somebody's version of their peanut butter stout. This is a peanut butter and jelly stout, I think is what this is. Very, very light hand on this peanut vibe. Almost at a point where I think it might be derived from all... It can't be just derived from all. So this has to be a peanut butter base. It has to be PB2 in here with nothing heavy-handed. But that cherry note that I actually got in the nose is totally more of like a raspberry jamminess thing kind of going down on this. Yeah. Nice roasted malts. Multi-level layers of chocolate. Nothing getting too sweet in the chocolate area. There's a nice soft peanut butter vibe to it. Almost to the point, like I said, like it's like... kind of like a nut edition as opposed to an actual like peanut butter or PB2 edition. And there's this nice kind of jammy component. It leans raspberry for me. Comes off very much like the jelly in a PB&J. And a little bit of lactose. Is it lactose though? Or is it vanilla? I don't know. One of those two. Close enough. Yeah. So this is somebody's fluffer nutter? Like a fluffer nutter? A jammy fluffer nutter. Anyway. Thing I'm really trying to bait here too. If it's a stout. Or like a Baltic porter, because... I'm getting the slightest bit of kind of lagering vibes off of this. I don't know why. That immediately makes me think of Framingham or PB&J, but they've never put it in this size bottle, I don't believe. No, they have, but I don't think it's not that. So what do we have? We have we're going to dial it back a little bit on ABV. We're going to go 9.2%, which is a weird ABV, but I want to go there. 9.2%, somebody's PB&J fluffer nutter, PB&J vanilla. Let's just go Baltic Porter for fun. It's going to be a stout, but I want to go Baltic Porter. for funskies. Somebody loves Framingham, their PB&J variant, and made their version of it. So here we go. It's going to be Miller Lite, by the way. Yeah, I went on a fucking curveballs on this one, so I could be super far off on these. I don't give a fuck. Mystery beers, that's what they're all about. So we'll see. Okay, New Holland. This is a Dragon's Milk? Really? Okay, fair enough. Bourbon Barrel Age. It flirted with the idea of a Bourbon Barrel Age. But I didn't really get that much barrel off of it. So I didn't even mention it. 11%. So it's just off. Well, 2 points off, basically. Scotch Barrel Aged. Okay. Stout with marshmallow and dark chocolate. So the dark chocolate came through, that marshmallow came through. All that fruit component is coming strictly, well, I was going to say strictly from a kind of yeast, kind of malty thing, but there could be a little bit of fruitiness coming from the barrel, but you're talking about a Scotch barrel, so I'm not quite sure. Oh, wow, this is hyper fresh, too. This is bottled, like, almost exactly 2 months ago. Let's see what it has in the back here. Let's see what they say. Very tiny writing. Old eyes. One of our favorite places to share Dragon's Milk is around a campfire. In the second reserve release of 2020 pays tribute to the legendary Summer Nights. A blend of Highland and Speyside Scotch barrels brings just a hint of peated smokiness and accentuated the roasted notes of our signature stout, with toasted marshmallow aroma and flavors set the stage for a rich chocolatey finish. Well, listen, fucking Highland in Speyside has really not much of anything to do with a peat moss smokiness. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about there. It sounds like just somebody trying to punch up a beer without actually knowing what they're talking about. Not that they're all devoid of that, but that's pretty much why I like Speyside Scotch, is because they don't fuck around with that peat moss thing. And you're talking about Islay Scotch, or not Islay Scotch, you're talking about Highland Scotch, leans way more Speyside, even though there's a little bit of Islay influence. But, I mean, if you told me what kind of flavor profile, and I'm not a Scotch aficionado, Carson is more of the Scotch aficionado, which is kind of cool that they sent this off. But, yeah, I'm not getting Scotch barrel off of this. If I really try, sure. It's there, but I don't think it's readily apparent. The marshmallow comes to a head. The chocolate comes to a head. That fruitiness, which is probably both coming from the Scotch. And that's why at first I was like, I don't know if Scotch barrel. You're talking about a, Speyside Scotch is going to be a little bit more fruity. Not as smoky or peaty or Band-Aidy or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I didn't land that one, but I'm okay with what I said because I'll stand by it. Yeah. I love Dragon's Milk. I think it's one of the better readily available lower ABV barrel-aged beers. I've never had any of the variants until now. Basically, all I've ever had was the base Dragon's Milk. And you're talking about a 4-pack for $15 of a really well-done barrel-aged stout. It's always been one of my favorite, but it's been so long since I've actually dived into one. It's kind of cool to kind of go back to it and taste it and have a variant like this. And it's kind of cool for somebody that's so into Scotch like Carson. For those who don't know, he's Scotch for Everyone on Instagram. Go check him out. He's a Scotch maniac. And for him to send this off, I feel like there's a little bit of a conversation to be had once he sees this video being like, I got this, this, and this. Because he would probably know way better than me, be able to pull this out of this beer. Granted, he's not doing it blind, but for someone that's so kind of in tune with Scotch and the Scotch world, I'm really curious what you have to say about this, Carson. So definitely give me your thoughts on it. And let me know if you sent it for any other reason other than you had it. I could see him going, I want Matt to try this because I love Scotch and I'm curious if he's going to get these Scotch notes. Or conversely, he loves Scotch. He bought a 4-pack and said, I have 4 of these. I'll send one to Matt. I don't know which one's which. So anyway, let's talk about it. Is this one of the better barrel-aged stouts that I've had as of late? It's definitely worthy of the conversation. Even though it doesn't come off as a big barrel-aged stout, it's still a tasty beer. And while I sit here and I kind of take a sip here and there, I can be like, okay, fine, it's barrel-aged, whatever. It doesn't really come off that vibrant of a barrel-aged beer, more of a bigger ABV kind of stout. But even then, I went like low 9s on it. I didn't even really want to get into double digits, but maybe that's my palate is hot garbage. Value and availability, like I said, I don't know where the variants go on this, but I'm assuming this is about $5 a bottle. Not brewery only, I know that for a fact. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like, Dragon's Milk and you want a little bit of a twist, because that's what you're getting here. Listen, it's not like you're going to get a big over-the-top Scotch barrel. This is not Ola Dub. This is not a lot of the other Scotch barrel beers that you'll have, but it plays nice. It gets minimal barrel in a very pretty way, and really, the jamminess was the start of the show for me here. I didn't even mention me getting peanut butter off that, which is fucking weird. But yeah, if you like weirdness, you'll like this. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. I don't know why I said it that way. Beer Massif. If you want to check me out doing the podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Dragon's Milk right now. Or Mystery Beer. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.